Israel's recent retaliation against Iran marks an escalation in the long-standing tension between the two nations, driven by deep-seated security and political issues in the Middle East. This rivalry largely revolves around Iran's nuclear ambitions, which Israel views as a direct threat, and Iran's support for regional armed groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, groups Israel considers hostile forces due to their consistent anti-Israel actions and ideologies. Consequently, Israel's strikes are intended to curb Iran's influence in the region, prevent its nuclear development, and deter support for groups that could pose a security threat. Iran has several potential courses of action in response to Israel's strikes. Cyber warfare is one option, as Iran has shown considerable capability in cyber operations, which it could use to target critical Israeli infrastructure. These cyber attacks could disrupt Israel's communications, financial systems, or even essential public services. Iran has utilized cyber attacks in the past, and expanding this strategy could serve as a less direct, but impactful form of retaliation. Aside from cyber measures, Iran could strengthen its alliances with regional proxies like Hezbollah in Lebanon, armed groups in Syria, and Hamas in Gaza. These groups have substantial military capabilities and could launch attacks on Israel's borders, creating pressure and instability in areas surrounding Israel. By supporting and possibly coordinating with these allies, Iran could effectively create multi-front challenges for Israel without direct involvement, allowing it to respond without escalating to full-scale war. Diplomatically, Iran has the option of rallying support from its allies in neutral countries, urging international condemnation of Israel's actions. Iran may call on organizations like the United Nations or appeal to powerful allies such as Russia and China to influence global opinion and isolate Israel diplomatically. This approach would allow Iran to respond on the global stage, portraying Israel as the aggressor and attempting to sway international opinion in its favor. However, this conflict is not just bilateral. The United States and other global powers are also deeply invested in the stability of the Middle East. The U.S. has long been a close ally of Israel and could step in with economic, diplomatic, or military support if tensions continue to rise. On the other hand, Iran has strong connections with Russia and, increasingly, China, potentially setting up a proxy rivalry within the region. Such involvement could heighten the risk of a larger geopolitical crisis, as these powerful nations might take sides or influence events indirectly, increasing the stakes. Despite Israel's advanced military support, technology, and intelligence networks, Iran's defense capabilities are also substantial, including ballistic missiles and regional influence, which could challenge Israeli security. If tensions were to escalate into open conflict, the impact would likely ripple across the Middle East, affecting trade routes, oil markets, and regional alliances. A wider conflict could destabilize neighboring countries, trigger refugee flows, and heighten sectarian divisions in an already volatile region. Therefore, both nations might pursue a delicate balance between demonstrating strength and avoiding a costly, prolonged conflict, especially with the watchful eye of the international community monitoring every move.